in the beginning when you said, there was a kind of sadness when you said, well, the Mashiach didn't come, so now we're establishing the vessel for the next kind of iteration of the exile. And, Pesach is in 3 weeks, and I use that time to our best advantage. So how do we literally do that?
Let's just clear a few things. First day is the first day of the Creator. It's not our first day. Our first day is actually the 6th day. Okay, this is where I showed it on the board. I think it's here. Okay, this is the Creator. So we've seen. Okay, this is the days of the Creator. The first day, or one can say, day 1. Yeah, and that's the 2nd day, 3rd day, 4th day, 5th day, 6th day. We're entering into the picture, and then on his Saturday, yeah, we are actually on his Saturday, he's living to us, because we can see it even in Genesis that on each day it says there was an evening and morning, and this is one day. On Saturday it has not been accomplished or completed. He completed Vaychal, everything that is ready for human to do the other step of completion. Okay, so this is the 6th day of human. Okay, of the human. Okay, this. So we start on, one can say on Saturdays is our first tikkun, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. It's all on a Sabbath. Sabbath, yeah, of actually the Creator. 8 days when we finish, yeah, our 6th, and he's coming out of his 7th, then it's the 8th. It means what we see here is the intention, the fulfillment, and the meeting point. It's the 8th day. Okay. So as a preparation for the 8th day is for us to know how to, for all humans actually, for all human spirit to know how to prepare themselves. There is a template of preparation and template of approach, which is called the tabernacle. Tabernacle is a presence of divinity. Okay, so it seems that they said all the priesthood had set 7 days, meaning they include in themselves all that is to do with the nature of completion of the human, and then on the 8th day they can come into service, because they can come into service. It means the whole 7, one can say sfirot, the whole 7 measurement has risen themselves to the 8, meaning to Bina. They all completed their rising to its, one can say, to its quality, which is the bestowal. Because on the lowest 7, even if it's grace, it's involving itself with a will to receive. So it actually fulfill itself, and there is this meeting point. It's really, it's the deepest joy, because it says to the intention of the Creator that it can actually extend itself to vessels of spirit, which actually prepare themselves to serve it as a beacon for all human life, or for all human spirits. So it seems that inside this, there will be an act which is very much to do with Adar and Purim. in Purim, it is more to do with how we are able to rise up. It's to do with awakening from below. Okay. Now we're approaching Pesach, which is awakening from above, to actually free us. The 8th day is actually a meeting point in which one should ask oneself. There is a wish of the higher to descend to be with me. Am I ready? The fact that I suppose, like Nadav and Avihu, that I'm ready from whatever reasons, and I do not think to myself whether I included enough of the human state or the human condition in myself, I'm burned. Okay. So it seems that Purim was the appearance of the power of Messiah, but it's an appearance that is a preparation. It does not happen in the right place. It does not happen in Eretz Israel. It happens in exile. But it's as well a revelation that this light, this extension above and beyond any vessel, can reappear, and it's there. We can call it. Okay. So we're going into a month of being reborn with that knowledge. So we cannot actually approach calling for the higher without knowing that actually there is a response, there is an attention to our state. It's like we know that what is coming is from above now, which is Passover, to take us away. But we enlarge, because there was Adar and Purim before, we know that it is possible. So it's a different attitude, whether you are actually praying to something that you don't know that is possible, or you're shouting for someone that knows that there is a possibility of you being salvaged. It's a complete different state, yeah. So this is it, and in between we go through the 8th, which is as well. It's true that you can say we've been inside a state of bliss, a state of being together with something that we, in a way, all human beings knowingly and unknowingly yearn for. Okay. And suddenly we were debased into sorting out the world again, sorting out our existence again, and sorting out our existence in relation to that which is sacred, to the source of life. But I think it has to do as well with whether we see our service for the world, even though that we need to go from the source of the 8th day back, the source of life, back into life in order to bring what we forgot to bring in the first place. Okay, what was not brought by us, and this is where I see that the Reformation is deeply through transmigration. Yeah. Because it allows us. It's like it's allowing Nadav and Avihu to get a perception of Pinchas, of service, because he's doing something which is completely to do, even risking his life. He's risking his life in order to save, one can say, all Israel and Moses, and they're risking their life because they want elevation. So we can see the transmigration. We can see the reformation in it. Okay, what is acceptable? What Pinchas is actually gaining is an eternal covenant, yeah, of service. And this is actually what they wanted. They wanted eternal covenant, but for them. Yeah. So this is, I think, this is the sorting out or clarity that we need to gain before we coming into the spring of the spring of spirits of Pesach. Okay, in that respect, where we stand, what actually we wish. So we actually, one of the first decrees of Pesach is not only what we're saying, is what we're eating or not eating. Okay, and what we're eating is the food of Bina, is the food of the eight, yeah, which is, I mean, unleavened. It means without the swollen part of the ego. Yeah. Without this part, which is very much to do with if we were accepted so far, it's clear that we have permission to eat from the tree of knowledge without the right intention. And then what they're doing actually is separating again the tree of life from the tree of knowledge. Okay, so it is. There is a lot of debate whether it's a sin what Nadav and Avihu did or not. I think there is a huge effort not to call it a sin, but to actually see that, like everything that is happening, even through the big shattering of the vessel, it's always to do with the advancement or a deeper knowing of oneself. A deeper knowing, it means when you really wish to go and come closer to the source of life, there will be always moments that we will make mistakes. It's as though Moses is trying to sort of appease, console Aaron by saying to him, look, they were so close to God, and I know that I will sanctify in those who are close to me. I think the fact that Aaron is going silent is the biggest rebellion of Torah, because he's saying, even to the highest, the Creator, you do not understand what is the sorrow of existence. I do not accept your consolement. I accept your dominion. I accept service to you. But at this point, there's no consolation from someone who actually cannot experience what I'm experiencing. Okay, so I think it's very brave, and I think the brave part is not how we explain Nadav and Avihu. The brave part lies with Aaron, and one can see that afterwards. If we look at the portion, yeah, okay. It starts on 9, Leviticus 9, chapter 1. It starts, and it came to pass on the 8th day that Moses called Aaron and his son and the elders of Israel, and they start to work on. They come into their priesthood, and And then there is the offering of Aaron. Okay. And then what happens is the Nadav and Avihu. It starts at 10. Yeah. Part 10, Nadav and Avihu, verse 10. It's chapter 10, verse 1. Yeah. And Nadav and Avihu, the sons of Aaron, took either of them his censer and put fire therein and put incense thereupon and offer strange fire before the Lord, which he commanded them not to do. Okay. Then Moses said unto Aaron, so we can see that a fire is consuming them, and there went out fire from the Lord and devoured them, and they died before the Lord. Then Moses is coming forward and saying, then Moses says unto Aaron, this is it that the Lord spoke, saying, I will sanctify in them that comes nigh me, close to me, and before all the people I will be glorified through them. Okay? And Aaron held his peace. This is not what they say. And Aaron held his deep quietness. It's like it says in Hebrew, Vaydom. You can hear dum dum dum, nothing. Okay, he is actually not responding to actually the deep sorrow of Moses. And what Moses is coming is with a revelation from higher to say that this is a kind of sort of or consolation or a revelation from above that they are very close and dear to him. It means do not accept it, and we can see that this is the first time after this, after I think what I'm saying, that there is a place in which there is what a human can bring to play or to even sacrifice, meaning in terms of getting it closer. But there is something in the higher that does not know the suffering of corporal life, okay? Which there can be help from higher, but one cannot say or console in the language of the higher the feeling of the lower, if I'm clear. And you'll see that afterwards Moses is actually pissed off with the sons of Aaron, why they did not eat all what they have to eat, because they have to continue to eat. They cannot be part of any sort of grieving patterns. Okay. But when actually there is an answer, okay, and Aaron, it's verse 19. And Aaron said unto Moses, after he complained why you did not eat all the sacrifice, behold, this day have they offered the sin offering and the burnt offering before the Lord. And such thing have befallen me. And if I had eaten the sin offering today, should it have been accepted in the sight of the Lord? And when Moses heard that, he was content. Meaning, what Aaron is saying, what I have to eat, which is to do with one off, which is only which is to do with the offering of actually inaugurating the possibility of tabernacle in the world, I ate. I did not eat the offering of the of Nachshon, which is mean the first month. Yeah, this will happen more and more. After what happened to me, I think that is enough. Yeah, it means that the silence before was saying there is something that the human can put inside the conversation with the higher, which is not only its limitation, is something that he would decree. And from that moment on, actually, the way of Aaron is dominating the tabernacle. Before that, it was the way of Moses. Okay, and there was, like two temples, like the way the spirit naturally wished to come closer and has no condition through Moses, or the other part which represent Aaron, which need the decree because it has to do with the power of imagination. But here they meet, and one can say that the heart wins. The heart of Aaron wins, which will say yes. That which serves the perpetual infinity of possibility, I can even overcome what befallen me. But that which can reoccur in history more than one time, I need the space of to say enough is enough. Okay, and I think it is happening on the 8th day, because then the human will bring his experience, his bearing, the experience of the spirit in the corporal world to be considered in the next creation of reality. Okay, this